What would you do? What do you think you'd do for the Browns to win a Super Bowl?
Like, would I play for them? Like, they need me?
I mean, obviously, you'd want to play for them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No, but like,
But I'm not going to help that much.
What would you do in your life, like your real life, to
Mm.
guarantee that the Browns could win a Super Bowl? Like, what's something like just crazy that you think you would do?
Go vegan
Wow, that is
forever.
That would be very hard.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
I don't know that I can do that.
No? Well,
No.
like, what if you had to do like a physical activity? Like, would you run 10 miles every day for the rest of your life?
No.
No?
I wouldn't be able to.
Wow.
I would die.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be in the best shape of your fucking life.
Nope. I would die.
Wow.
I would probably be dead within the first week. So I couldn't even get to see the Browns win.
You would be in so much better shape now than you've ever been, and you'd probably feel like $1 million.
I'd be dead.
You don't die from running for 10 miles.
I would.
I don't know that you're that out of shape. What would you do for it's a guaranteed Super Bowl?
You think you'd give up retirement? Like you never get to retire ever.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll be working at 100 years old.
Yep, off every Sunday though.
Yep, you'd be off every Sunday.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one.
I would do that. So do you think you would die faster if you had to work every day of your life, or you think you'd die if you had to run 10 miles every day?
I'd die way faster if I had to run 10 miles every day.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. You'd probably live to 150. You'd be like Chris Traeger on Parks and Rec, dude.
No, dude, I would be dead. I would be in the ground with maggots crawling all over me.
Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, I could do the retirement for sure.
What do you think about, would you, like, give up all vacations? You can never vacation again for the rest of your life? You have to stay in the city that you're in forever?
But I get to retire still?
Yeah, everything else is normal.
Yeah. Because retirement, if I get to retire still in this scenario,
but you never get to leave you never get to leave the city though.
Live in a dope city, but but that wouldn't be that hard.
Do you think you would move to Cleveland and then live in Cleveland forever, never leaving?
Do I get to live at Baker's house with him and his wife?
No, you just live at your own house.
Probably no. I don't think so. That's tough. That's tough. But I don't think it's like the be all end all of that conversation. Like that's not like the hardest thing, but yeah, it would be tough.
Do you think you'd give up cross dressing?
Like publicly?
Well, like no, you could never cross dress ever. You could never cross dress again ever.
I could pull that off. I'd be able to do that. Yeah.
That wouldn't be something that's that hard for you?
I mean, I have to give up my personal life for sure.
I know. But for the Browns.
Life's not about social activity. It's about fandom. It's about Browns, really. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. You want to get the show going?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So, like I said, for sure would move in with him and his wife. He's the new LeBron James of the town. Little rough patch recently, but how excited are we right now? 7 weeks into Baker Mayfield's career.
Oh, Maker Playfield? Yeah, he's amazing.
Maker
He's
Playfield.
Got so much ready to go, ready to rock on Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. We should probably say though that this is the Asshole Podcasserole. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. This may be the first ever Asshole Podcasserole.
For sure, the first Podcasserole. I looked it up.
There's never been another Podcasserole?
No, first one.
What the fuck is a Podcasserole?
Generally a podcast like this, but where you have just enough time to finish your casserole. And then,
Oh wow.
yeah,
So you're actually baking a casserole?
I have one in the oven.
What kind are you making?
Chicken apricot casserole.
Chicken apricot?
Yeah,
Did
dude.
you say apricot?
Yeah, I said apricot.
First of all, it's chicken apricot.
No, apricot.
No, apricot, dude.
French.
That is oh, you're cooking the French style.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
it's an apricot with a short A pronunciation.
so basically this podcast is going on while you're cooking a casserole, and
Only
then
reason we're doing it. Yep.
just to pass the time.
Pass the time, talk a little. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well, back to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's nickname.
Can you seriously like remember a time in your life when you were like as excited about the Browns as right now?
I mean, like as a little kid, because I was like thought I was gonna be a Brown one day when I was 4, but that's probably the last time. I mean,
Wow.
even the saddest thing is I was thinking about this, even like when they were good recently for a year and a half, it was just like you knew it had an expiration. It had like the shelf life. It wasn't like a future is bright. We were like this fucking 6'8" hippie quarterback who like, didn't know the plays and would just throw it deep every time. Like luckiest season a 10-win team's probably ever had. There was no hope for the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
DA was fun to watch for a flash in the pan season.
20 games.
You just knew that it was going to fall off the rails like very shortly thereafter.
Right. And it did for another 10 years. 11 now.
But we're at big Baker Playfield's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Big number 30.
Mm-hmm. So this is going to lead into our next thing. We're talking about Baker Mayfield, talking about Derek Anderson. We're about to talk about all 30 of the Browns quarterbacks since they've been back in a special Royal Rumble edition of Browns quarterbacks. Speaking of Royal Rumbles, shout out to Scott Hall. Happy birthday, Scott Hall. 60 years old today. Can you fucking believe that?
No, that's so insane.
60, yeah. And when he was like 50, he looked like he was 85, like on his deathbed. Now
what does he look like now?
Better.
He looks alive.
A little better than you, but
Well,
alive.
me and Scott Hall many people have told me we look very similar.
The like drugged out version or just like the successful version?
Yeah, I'm the successful version.
Oh, cool. So, explain this Royal Rumble, Bryce. What's going to go down here?
So basically, we just want to talk through the 30 quarterbacks, Browns, since they've been back. Obviously, it's well documented. Everybody knows there's been fucking 30 quarterbacks, and everybody laughs at the Browns for it. But it's the perfect time now to have a 30-man Royal Rumble coming out one at a time in order, just to see how things would shake out. You know what I mean?
Right. See who's actually going to come on top of this thing.
Yeah, dude.
So, let's start it off. Number 1, the first player taken, the Browns coming back, Tim Couch. Beast.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen what Tim Couch looks like nowadays?
Yeah, he could be in the actual Royal Rumble. He's like a John Cena with a better haircut.
Yeah, like I think that he might be training to be like a UFC fighter, to be honest with you.
Whoa.
Like that dude looks ready to fucking go.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Absolutely. So obviously 1 starts with 2, so they're both in the ring. Number 2 is Ty Detmer.
Yep.
So it's Timmy and Ty.
Timmy and Ty.
Right. Ty was back up to Couch there.
Dude, I think that Timmy would dump Ty Detmer as soon as he comes in.
I absolutely think so too, and then
he's just sitting there waiting, saying, "Come on, who's next?"
Yeah,
who's next?
He might be like hanging out, sitting in the turnbuckle in the back, just kind of waiting, very confident.
Yeah,
the swagger's there because he now has a chance to succeed in a capacity in Cleveland, which he never had before, really. Yeah. So he's thinking he's going to win the thing for sure.
Here's his chance to write his own news story.
For sure. So number 3,
Doug Peterson, coach of the Philly Eagles right now, Super Bowl coach.
Super Bowl winning coach.
Isn't it funny how after somebody plays for the Browns, they always go on to do much bigger and better things thereafter?
I mean, that's not that hard to do. If you played for him in the last 2 years, any job you get is better than playing for the Browns.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
Unless you get the job of the head coach that gets fired right away and you just get paid for like 3 more years.
that's awesome.
That's like the best job.
I would love that job. Yeah.
So Doug Peterson, Tim Couch, what do you think?
I mean,
He stands his ground a little bit.
No, I mean, what
You think he dumps him too?
There's two hilarious things here with Doug Peterson. We know him now as the old dude with no hairs that aren't gray. They're all just absolute. Every single one of them is gray or white on his whole body,
Kind of a pot belly.
Yeah, it looks like just the oldest piece of shit. Like he was on Making a Murderer and lives with those people on the fucking auto yard. But the other thing is, even when he played for the Browns, he was like old and out of shape. Like his best years were backing up Brett Favre like 10 years before he was on the Browns, when he was like Brett Favre's backup. And so, yeah, I mean, this dude, even in his prime Brown shape, he's probably getting dumped pretty quick by Tim Couch. I mean, he might be close to the next guy in, but I think the ring's clear when number 4 comes out. It's him. Put
it this way. Yeah, he gets dumped before number 4.
He's out of there.
So number 4, music hits, big Spurgeon wind comes roaring in, running, sprinting down.
Yeah. Now here's where we run into a little trouble, because Tim is a little fatigued from dumping the first 2 out, and we got a very athletic guy in there with him. So I don't think this is a quick exit. I think when number 5 comes down, these two are still in the ring, and I think Tim's eyes light up when he sees who's walking down the aisle at 5.
Yeah, we all know who number 5 is. The guy that Tim Couch really battled with, and that's Kelly Holcomb.
Kelly, dude, he was everybody's favorite quarterback in Cleveland for like a season at least.
Only quarterback to go to the playoffs since they've been back.
Yeah.
And he lit up the Steelers in that playoff game too. Lit them up.
Was that the double field goal game where we blocked the field goal, didn't go past the line of scrimmage, they recovered it, and they kicked another one?
Maybe it was.
I believe that's how we lost the playoff game.
That wouldn't surprise me. I do remember that game. I don't remember if it was the playoff.
Okay, so I think either we lost that game that way, or we lost to the Steelers in the season to decide that it was a home playoff game for Pittsburgh. But I know we lost to the Steelers. They kicked a field goal on 3rd down. We blocked it. They recovered it, kicked it again on 4th and won.
Oh, I remember that against the Steelers, definitely. But I just didn't remember if it was the playoff game or if it was potentially a different game or in a different season. There's so many losses to the Steelers. It just all kind of blurs together.
Yeah, they've really added up over the years.
Yeah.
I can feel them in my back. Little knots in my back.
Yeah.
So I think
Kelly Holcomb comes screaming in. You know what he wants. He wants Timmy.
Yeah. So I think it just starts one of those like kind of 3-way tussles. One guy's hitting one, the other one. There's no alliances there, no allegiances happening, so they're just all scrambling, fighting each other. Number 6 comes. What do you think about number 6 here, Jeff Garcia?
Jeff Garcia. Yeah, I think Jeff Garcia, especially given he was like old when he was a Browns quarterback, and he was like, I mean, probably the most successful prior to coming to the Browns, but huge disappointment with the Browns. I can't really see him lasting in this Rumble very long.
Yeah, but you know what he is, though? He's squirrely. So, I mean, he probably is tough to get out, but he's not big or anything. He's not imposing, so they're probably dumping him out. So you think Garcia goes before number 7 pops in?
Probably. I don't really see him lasting.
So Garcia's dumped, and we'll say it's kind of one of those resting periods. You know, the 3 in there waiting to see who comes, and it's Luke McCown at number 7. McCown. That one, at first sight, not very scary. You're not too worried about Luke McCown. What you're worried about, we're going to talk about in a little bit, I'm sure. But for now, he's not a huge threat. They probably just get into a little 4-way, 2 guys on one side, 2 guys on the other.
It might be him and Spurgeon going at it, and then Holcomb and Couch with a little one-on-one time.
Yeah, I imagine it's hard for them to separate Holcomb and Couch most of the time they're in the ring there. They're going to be going at it.
Sure. So I think that those 4 probably stay in the ring until the next entrant, which is going to be number 8, Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer.
Obviously a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. In recent light, I'm not a big Trent Dilfer fan, but again, super unathletic. There's a theme here. Super unathletic guys playing quarterback for the Browns. If you can't win a Royal Rumble, like, I don't want you quarterbacking my team. Period.
He was terrible, but you remember like kind of being pretty excited that we had a quarterback that had won a Super Bowl come into the Browns?
I mean, I guess. Like,
what do you mean you guess, dude? You get excited like when the Browns like signed someone off the practice squad. Like,
Yeah.
of course you got excited.
Dude, I don't get that excited about like bald white dudes unless it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like that's a tough one for me. I don't remember
What
being
if
that
Trent
excited.
Dilfer starts like with his bald head and goatee? What if he starts throwing some stunners around?
I'll tell
You
you,
think he's got that in him or no?
I don't think he has it in him. If he pulled it off, it's like a two-edged sword. I'm gonna be pissed that he's ripping off Stone Cold, but big time props for rocking stunners in this thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what
Wonder
special
who
move?
the most likely person to pull off a stunner is on this list.
I know
He's throwing
exactly who it
stunners
is.
around.
He's coming at number 9.
Yeah,
He's,
I was just about to say the same thing, I think.
he's running down the aisle with a beer in each hand,
Sprinting.
just guzzling as he comes down.
Oh yeah.
So
Chucky Fry.
Yeah, Chucky Fry.
Akron hometown kid. Chucky
Yep.
Fry, here to save the day.
Yep. He did take a break from doing copious amounts of drugs to be here today with us in the Royal Rumble. We want to thank him for that.
I remember when I used to work in a kitchen, and Fry was the quarterback and Ruben Drones was the running back. And like the dishwasher, he was like super weird. He would like come up to me and be like, "Hey, you like a Ruben with fries with that? Browns are gonna win this year." It was just like so crazy. He was like such like a weirdo.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, not a very good one by him. Dude, that team had energy. That was like one of those like you never knew what you were getting on Sunday. Chucky Fry could run for 150 and break one of his arms off, and then the Browns could still lose. You just have
he
no
was
idea.
so scrappy. He was so scrappy. He'd be throwing around stunners. He'd be probably going up off the top rope, throwing like headbutts to people's chests. Like he's the man.
Yeah, he's a tough one. So who are we looking at here? Because
so we still got Tim Couch, Spurgeon Wynn, Kelly Holcomb, Luke McCown, Trent Dilfer, and Charlie Fry in. Somebody's got to go.
Yeah, and I think it's
Spurgeon Wynn and Trent Dilfer would be the low man on my list.
Okay, so I think those two probably go, and I think Chucky only survives by that scrappiness. They were throwing him out, and he bit the guy's wrist, and that kind of shit. So we got Charlie, Couch, Holcomb still in the mix here. Now we're going down to we were just talking about him here, Derek Anderson, number 10.
Big DA.
Crazy enough, Derek Football Anderson is going to start an NFL game this Sunday. That is absolutely insane.
Dude, that is awesome. Insane. Good for old horseballs Anderson, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Good for old Stony Baloney Anderson.
Yeah, dude.
Who just get caked out and come to Browns press conferences in cargo shorts and flip-flops.
That dude was living just the dream playing quarterback.
Dude, he was Ricky Williams after Ricky Williams. I was about to say before Ricky Williams, but it was for sure after Ricky Williams. But yeah, he didn't give any fucks about really anybody.
Yeah, and at like 6'6", 230, 235, he's got a real chance in this Rumble probably.
Oh yeah, he's a tough out for anybody.
And obviously from a Browns fan perspective, he's kind of a crowd favorite because he was leading that electric 2007 offense.
Yeah, and I see him coming in with that fan power behind him and just rolling through a couple of these dudes and probably knocking some people out. I think Chucky probably falls to the wayside from DA. It probably comes down to like him, Couch, Holcomb, and McCown are just there. The two big boys, McCown and Anderson, are kind of scrapping each other, and then of course Couch and Holcomb are still in there just battling. Couch is probably getting roughed up at this point. He's already 10 guys deep. No pun intended.
So Couch v. Holcomb still, McCown v. DA going on right now.
Yep.
Number 11 rolls in.
Dude,
Kenny Dorsey.
Human clipboard.
The human national champion.
The human national champion.
The human national champion.
Oh, dude, he's such a bum. He is such a piece of shit. He was never designed to ever play for the Browns. They never wanted him to ever be on this list.
Yeah,
I don't even fucking remember the game he played, to be honest with you. I do not remember his start. I remember him playing.
I kind of do remember his start.
You remember his start?
I think he had a couple starts, actually. Yeah, it was like kind of early in the season, I think. And it was like, oh, I can't believe we're already on Ken Dorsey at this point. But okay, so what I was gonna say was, don't remember. Kenny Dorsey.
That's all right. You were talking about being a national champion. Really, none of his fucking work because he's just surrounded by murderers and just the greatest players ever. But
yeah, what I was going to say was that Ken Dorsey's football playing career in the NFL was pretty much just his audition to be a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? He was just on the sidelines honing his coaching skills while he was a player. So
he was probably great in the film room.
Yeah. And he's a coach now.
Yeah. But he's no fucking threat to anybody. In fact,
dude, he's getting dumped immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 4 fighting probably all turn and are like, dude, we're busy here, little boy. And they just
and then DA just clotheslines him over the top rope. Get him out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Kenny Dorsey, he can't stick around.
All right. And now
here's a contender.
This guy really has a chance. In my opinion, if we're making odds, he's up there.
He at least looks like a WWF wrestler.
Yeah. Again, another dude. There could be some good ones off of this list. Just like because Fry would be a good like shitty little like scrappy guy, but Brady Quinn, he's a beast. That's number 12. Brady Quinn, just a jacked super soldier coming down at 12.
Yeah, dude. I always said his biceps were too big to throw a tight spiral.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the arm motion because his bis and tries were too booming.
So, do you remember this story? And I know your memory is terrible. How many times you've been hit in the head? When we were in college and we went to breakfast and we were talking shit about Brady Quinn. And I know you remember that, but do you remember Brady Quinn gets to the restaurant we're at? His girlfriend hears us talking shit about him. They decide to leave, but he gets out of the car because he was putting his belt on. And he could barely get his shoulders back to put his belt on. I remember he's standing in front of their bumper trying to get his fucking thing on because he's so.
Why does he have a belt? Why is he putting a belt on outside by the car?
No, because this is exactly why. Because that morning, and I remember it specifically, it was his pro day at Notre Dame, and he came straight there. I seriously.
So he was still getting ready.
He had
to
like
go to
jeans.
Breakfast, like as he was getting out.
Yeah, I mean he had jeans. He had like jeans and a collared shirt on, and he was putting his belt on. And
I do remember Brady Quinn being at that breakfast place, and that breakfast place is so crazy. It would fill up to the max brim, and there would just be people standing outside. You had to sign that paper and like put your name down,
like a legal pad. You had to sign.
Yeah, and then when we were sitting, Brady Quinn walks in the door, signs his name on this paper, and we just start berating him just loudly, and he ends up leaving the place and doesn't even eat there.
Yeah, and I remember like exactly the conversation because we were saying at the time, I will be so fucking devastated if the Browns draft Brady Quinn because that was like the talk, and they did, but not what we were fearing. They fucking got him back in 22, where they love taking quarterbacks.
They had the 3rd pick. That's the year they took Joe Thomas, if I recall correctly, and we didn't want them to take Brady Quinn at 3. That would have been a nightmare. They obviously took Joe Thomas, a Hall of Famer. So that worked out. But then
still took a nightmare.
Brady Quinn way later. And that was, even though I was kind of jacked about it when they took him there, because I was like, well, if they were going to take him at 3, we might as well just get him at 22 or 21 or whatever.
As Browns fans, anytime we're getting multiple first-round picks, we're getting jacked. Like, unless we're really passing on a stud and trading back, we're always jacked to have another first-round guy because he's most of the time more talented than everybody else on our team already. So we're just getting the best player on our team.
Yeah,
and that's how it's been for years.
We were pretty jacked up about him, but so Brady Quinn can be a little player in this Rumble.
Yeah, sure. I think he starts to break some things up. I think it gets into a little more mass fighting now. They're all just kind of going at it.
Let's talk about the next guy coming in, number 13. Didn't have a long stay with the Browns. No. Had a long stay in the NFL across many teams. Bruce Gradkowski.
Yeah, drink of water in Cincinnati too.
Yeah, he had some Pittsburgh exposure. Did he hit all 4 of the teams in the AFC North?
Did he play in Baltimore?
I don't think so, but that would be crazy.
Yeah, especially in like a short, shitty career.
I feel like he like played. I feel like he was like around for like 8 years, and he was like on like 4 or 5 different teams.
He went to University of Toledo. You know that?
Yeah, I do recall that.
There's a bunch of his restaurants. I don't know if there's a bunch. There's I think 2 of them there now called Gradkowski's.
Nice. Yeah, he was terrible. He's not lasting long in this. He's getting dumped immediately.
Yeah, I think he gets dumped real soon there. So I think that's probably what takes Brady Quinn's attention. He sees Bruce and he's just not having it and throws Bruce out.
German suplex him over the top.
Yeah, I think so.
Brock Lesnar style.
Yeah, I mean, he can. That's what you have to think. He can.
Yeah, he's basically
He
the
is.
Brock Lesnar of this.
He is the Brock Lesnar of this Rumble. If we're talking comparable, he
when
is.
it comes to just straight up upper body suplexes, Brady Quinn.
All right.
Maybe Tim Couch too.
So the next one we've joked about in the past, about what happens for our next entrance. You want to kick this one?
Yeah. So number 14 is Colt McCoy, just like a little scrapper, played a long time for the Browns when you're considering a length of a Browns career for the Browns. Well, he comes in, he's ready to go. So he comes blazing out of the back, sprinting down to the ring. And what happens? James Harrison from the crowd pops over the banister, tackles him, lights out, helmet to helmet contact,
no
lights
helmet,
out. Colt McCoy laying on the ground, unconscious.
Yep.
James Harrison, no flag.
Now, here's the question.
No flag.
We have no flag, never
no
flag. No flag. Here's what we have to ask ourselves, because this is a common theme in Royal Rumbles, and I've watched a couple of these lately getting ready for this podcast as research we do. Common theme in the Royal Rumble is person gets taken out, they take their spot. Is Harrison trying to get himself into the Browns quarterback rumble and just kill some of these people?
No,
what is his motive? He just hangs out by Colt McCoy all the time?
He would kill some people, but no. He lays Colt McCoy out, no flag, walks off, goes out back. He's out. He doesn't even want to be in the same room as these Browns clowns. He just wanted to take out Colt McCoy one last time.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is fucking hilarious. So we're talking about how shitty Doug Peterson looks. This dude fucking looked like that when we signed him and started him at quarterback. Jake Delhomme started his career with like a full head of gray hair as our quarterback. He started like as a grandfather to the quarterback room, and that was the best quarterback in the room. Jake Delhomme.
Was he in a
Super Bowl appearance? Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah. So he was in a Super Bowl though, so obviously I'm jacked.
Yeah.
Jacked. Super Bowl quarterback.
Dude, if you can sniff the Super Bowl, we're taking you on, no matter what.
Sure.
I mean, there's
that type of experience.
Yeah. So he comes down, and dude, I feel like, so we're at right now, let's go back and recap this, because we are just passing halfway here with Jake coming out. Tim Couch still in there. Kelly Holcomb still in the mix. We have Luke McCown still in there.
Hanging around.
Derek Anderson and Brady Quinn. Yep. So
McCoy laying just flatlined on the ramp.
McCoy, do you don't think that he took like McCoy as like a scalp, like back to the camp that he lived? Because he
flatliner.
Harrison lives like at a campsite by like an overpass. That's where he lives, and then he just wakes up on Sunday and plays football. Yeah. Yeah. You don't think he just dragged McCoy back there just to hang him up on the post?
He might have, but for the purposes of this Rumble, we're gonna throw McCoy just hanging around, basically half unconscious.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Because I think McCoy, to be honest with you, is scrappy enough that he might just shake this one off and get back in the ring.
Oh wow! I mean, he's done it before.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like the advisement of a Browns medical staff, he's done it before.
Yeah, so he might just shake it off.
All right, so I think the boy destroyer Brady Quinn probably just fucks up Delhomme right away. He's like, no, dude, what are you doing? This is a young man's game. You're out. And Brady,
Jake Delhomme up and over.
Speaking of scalps, that's like Brady's third elimination at this point, I believe. He's starting to rack them up.
Number 16, Seneca Wallace, as also a fan favorite of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
I feel like he was on the team for like a while, and then like finally got a shot. And we were just like, Seneca.
I remember watching a game out here like 5 or 6 years ago, and he came in, and it was the most feeling I had in my heart for the Browns in like a year and a half when he came in, because he was like running, eating first downs, moving the ball, and then I think we ended up losing by like 28, but it was for a good quarter there. Excitement. That's all you can ask for out of this list when you're talking about your memories, dude. Just give me like a memory of one of your games.
Yeah, Seneca had some lightning feet. If we can remember one game where you like won us the game, over.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best. And I'm looking back at the list, and like, if I can't remember you at 15, Jake Delhomme, and I can remember like even a Tim Couch game, dude. I remember like some of his 400-yard bombers, and fucking Kelly Holcomb's like, I remember the 10 quarterbacks before you, dude. You suck if I can't remember a good game you had for Browns.
Yeah, Delhomme. I don't think Delhomme ever had a good game for the Browns.
Yeah. So what do you think Seneca does as he enters this Rumble?
He's pretty agile. He might be like throwing some crazy stuff around, like some Rey Mysterio type
Yeah,
stuff.
I could see him probably coming in and climbing right up and jumping off that turnbuckle right away.
Yeah, he might come in off that turnbuckle and really do some damage.
At this point, he's running down, and he's
probably burying a knee right in Luke McCown's chest coming off.
Yeah, chop that tree down. He's probably the most athletic guy though in there at this point. If you're
maybe he wants to chop that Derek Anderson tree down, start coming in at his legs like he's chopping a tree like a lumberjack.
I like it. I think Brady could get behind that too. Him and Seneca have no beef. I think they could get a team up there.
Get after.
So did they all survive coming into number 17?
Yeah, everybody sticks around.
If I could hold on a second. Sorry. If I could take one person out myself, James Harrison style, it's 17. It's the next guy. I will plant myself in the crowd and make sure he never even gets in the ring. This is one of my least favorite players to ever play for the Browns, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
But you are not
Any
there,
position.
And you cannot do that.
Unfair, but go on. Who's 17 here?
Big Brandon Whedon. When we drafted him, he was about 32 years old. And he was a rookie, 32-year-old rookie, just out of Oklahoma State. Another number 21 or 22 overall.
22, I think, yeah.
Yeah, where all the Browns flops come from.
Just a mess of 22s.
Yeah, I think that I didn't like him, and I think that maybe you're thinking the same thing, is that I think when you look up and down this list, Brandon Whedon is by far the ugliest person on the list.
Yeah, I'm trying to fuck this list, so I want to know what's going on with their physical looks. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I just think it's natural. It's just natural to start looking at that kind of stuff, and like, I don't even think that it's close. Like, I think Brandon Whedon is a 0, and like the next closest is like a 5.
Nah, dude. Charlie Fry is rolling into a 1.2 on that fucking 10-point scale, dude. Charlie Fry is dirt ugly.
No, Charlie Fry was kind of dope looking. The only ones that give him a run for his money.
Yeah, like he was on dope.
Yeah, well, the only ones that give him a run for his money in the ugly department are Jake Delhomme, Doug Peterson, and Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia. Oh, man. Okay, so, yeah, this ugly fuck, this redheaded, ugly, 32-year-old fucking awful quarterback with no arm. Oh, my God.
I don't want him sticking around in this.
No, he's out immediately. Brady, just the man destroyer, takes him out. He's out.
We got to get him out.
Yeah, we got to roll through this. 18, Thaddeus Lewis.
Oh, Thad. Big Thad.
He was a fan favorite, too.
One really good game I remember from him.
Wait, didn't he play a good game against
Pittsburgh? Yeah, last game of the year, I'm pretty
last
sure.
Game of the season.
I do think we still lost, though.
Yeah, we lose all of them, but that's not.
But like, we were in it, and like, if we're in it against Pittsburgh, then last game of the year, that's like a Christmas present, man.
Yeah, that's a very good day.
Thad Lewis, though, even as much as I loved him, and you know what, he would come in with that kind of that high flyer attitude. Him and Seneca Wallace might be getting a little tag team action going. They might be setting them up, knocking them down together.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Flashes of like old school tag teams helping each other out.
Sure.
I think on this next one, number 19.
You know what? What's going to happen, dude? This has got to happen. I really think that Seneca Wallace and Thad Lewis were setting them up and being an alliance of 2. And I think like the other 4 or 5 that are still in are just like, what?
I was just gonna say that
we got to get both of them out, and then it's just a 5-on-2 up and over. You know what I mean?
They're out. So now we're back to that fucking Power 5, the Fab 5, and we have Jason Campbell coming in at 19.
Hey Cam, he was a big dude.
Yeah, and he was athletic too.
Yeah, he might be able to rumble a little bit.
Yeah. So do you think he makes 6 in this pack? You think we start narrowing down here at 19, or we let number 20, Mr. Electric, come in and start fucking dropping people?
Yeah, I think we got 6 with number 20 coming in.
All right. So down to, in at least recent years, no doubt, most exciting quarterback we've had, not because the way he played, because he was fucking winning games and keeping us alive. Like, we were at points winning football games that we should have won. Like, it was Brian Hoyer.
I think that I had the strongest like love for Brian Hoyer out of anybody on this list.
Wow, see, mine is there's just no touching Kelly Holcomb. Like I was in that camp of like
Did love
arguing
Kelly
with
Holcomb.
everyone. I remember at the time I was at my dad's house and we had this computer in the sunroom, like the family computer, and I was printing out Tim Couch's stats and then Kelly Holcomb's stats, and then I cut them and I laid them on top of each other, and I would show my dad, and I'd be like, look at this, and he's just like, I don't give a fuck, dude, I don't care.
So I think that maybe you just remember that Holcomb Couch, like where like it was like pretty polarizing. You were either like Holcomb or you were Couch, and like it makes you remember it more. But I like truly think that the way I felt about Hoyer trumped the way that I felt about Holcomb, because it was like unquestioned. This was like our quarterback at the time.
Yeah, that's again, it's that Derek Anderson thought I had in 07 or 06. As much as I love that dude and he was fucking getting high every game, throwing touchdowns, like he's gonna be gone in 2 years. Like that was what Brian Hoyer afforded.
Yeah,
was
but
a little bit of future.
Yeah, Hoyer was a little bit of future though, because it was like I believe the narrative about Tom Brady. He learned under Tom Brady for a few years. He kind of looked a little bit like Tom Brady. He would get rid of the ball so fast, and like that's like something the Browns never had. And dude, I just loved Hoyer, man. I really think that Hoyer was run out of town improperly by whoever was making the decisions at the time, and Josh Gordon like wasn't doing Hoyer any favors when Josh Gordon came back for like that half a year or something.
And they had
or whatever.
to force him the ball every goddamn down to try
and
prove
like
that they were right for keeping him.
He would just like not go after balls, and like they would get picked off, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Hoyer sucks," and it was just like so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Get out my boy Brian Hoyer on Twitter. Let him know that everyone thinks he's the man.
He's still the man, number 1 in our hearts, number 20 on our quarterback list. So Hoy Boy gets in there, and now
Hoy Boy is gonna start. He's gonna do some damage. He's gonna start outsmarting people.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like him being a little bit of like shifty, the Miz, maybe even a little sneaky.
He's got a little Miz in him. He's got a little Randy Orton in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit of that Viper action. Yeah,
he's got a little sneaky in him. He's got a little Ric Flair, maybe. That's a good.
Let's not go too far though.
Oh, dude, best quarterback, best wrestler, don't you think?
Yeah, I know one of them is true.
Yeah, best quarterback.
We'll see. We'll keep going down this list. So we have 6
number
in there.
21. Number 21's a big one. Yeah. Do we want to get rid of anyone? Maybe.
Let me get into 21 if you don't mind, because I think we keep who's in there.
Let's see what 21 brings to the table. This should bring some action.
Because I think what's going to happen here is Money Manziel, number 21. Talk about polarizing as much as you can possibly be. People loved him when we drafted him. People hated when we drafted him. People flip-flop both ways along the course of time. What I see here is if you talk about real hatred, we're talking about Tim Couch and Kelly Holcomb. Those dudes might be best friends. I literally think they're probably pretty good friends. They might be. My point being is I know that 20 and 21 do not like each other. And I think the way I see this is Manziel's coming down the ring, probably doing some money antics. Probably of all of them, he's taking the longest time to get to the ring, slowly maybe throwing money into the air, doing his thing, probably selfie on the way. He's doing this. He's fucking tattooed up, doing his thing. And then I think we see the Brian Hoyer suicide dive, which is essentially what his career took when Johnny Manziel came to town. He starts running and then does the dive over the ropes, eliminating himself, but taking out Manziel in the process. And not even with one shot, but that fight doesn't end on the ground there. They fight it to the back. They're out just slugging it out for the rest of the night.
They keep showing it up on the Jumbotron, like fighting in the back with like the forklifts and chairs and
Oh yeah. And you know what? Oh, it would be
Money Manziel might get away, sneak away for a second, get a little fucking.
Dude, you know what he does? He pulls the Vince McMahon. He pulls the Vince McMahon. He gets him back there. Hoyer's beating him down to the back, and then he sneaks into a room, and Manziel's got the money crew there. Drake and fucking everybody's back there, and they just beat Hoyer down, and the fight continues in the back for the rest of the night. Both of them eliminated, and we're still at 6 here, which... Do we need to make any pumps out here? 6 guys still in there.
So Hoyer and Johnny just go out and about.
Hoyer and Johnny, Dunzo. We're down to DA. We're down to Quinn. we're down to Luke McCown, Kelly Holcomb, and Tim Couch. Oh, that's only 5.
And Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell was still around, right?
I mean, who cares?
Yeah, but that was one. I mean, we can eliminate him, but
How about he just retires in the ring? He just undoes his boots, just leaves him in the ring, and just walks out. Done.
All right. See you,
I
Campbell.
hate Jason Campbell too. I don't even want to give him a shot at any of these guys in the ring.
Wow. All right. Well, 22, the cursed number for the Browns is Connor Shaw. Definitely got that 1-game appearance at the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure got hurt in it, like broke his collarbone maybe.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a classic Browns move.
Yeah, I think that's what happened in the real game, but I could be mixing that up with Josh McCown because he broke his collarbone like at least 4 or 5 times with the Browns. So
just breaking it, fixing it,
yeah,
breaking
it,
it, fixing it.
But Connor Shaw isn't long for this Rumble. He comes in, gets stomped down by DA, dumped over by DA and Luke McCown. You know what I mean? Like he's not long for this game.
Mm-hmm. Now we have issues though, because something we kind of alluded to earlier. The reason Luke McCown was not a threat was his brother's coming down the aisle now.
Yeah, it wasn't a threat yet.
Not yet. We have some issues here. 23, Josh McCown. Now we have the McCown brothers, a for sure alliance in the ring. And if we're being honest, they might not be the most athletic, but Josh is big. Josh is like big.
Josh was pretty athletic too, actually.
No. I know. I'm just saying, like, compared to some guys, you don't think of him, but he's just huge. He's close to as big as DA, or probably as big as DA. He's big.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
I don't know how big Luke is. Luke about 6'3", you think?
He's pretty skinny. Luke was really skinny. I bet you he'd be like 6'2", and he was like kind of skinny. Yeah. But I mean, together, a 2-man team, as long as the other people aren't teaming up against them, like they're gonna wreck people.
I mean, you see probably what happens, and to me, it's a lot of the same type of moveset here of what would happen if the Undertaker and Kane came into a Rumble.
Yeah,
big guys. You're doing the big boot with McCown. They're probably doing some team up moves. It's destruction. You think? To be honest with you,
that group probably gets out one of the heavy hitters, maybe either DA or Brady.
I think they might have to get DA out of there.
They just like sneak up behind him, give him a big old tree trunk dump. You know? What I mean?
One leg. I grab one, you grab the other, and he's out.
Wow, yeah. DA, that's a sad one to see go over the top.
Yeah, he was our boy for a minute, but that is what it is in the Royal Rumble.
The McCown brothers are making enemies. They're
a force.
They're getting the show going.
Yeah.
So 24 rolls down. Probably one of the biggest bitches that has ever graced the quarterback spot, Austin Davis.
Whoa, the slam on Davis.
Yeah, he was so terrible.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
And like
nobody on this list was good, but yeah.
No, but he was like a huge bitch though.
Yeah. I think that this is like where we have Couch and Holcomb going at it. I think Brady is in there and he's kind of like eyeing up the McCowns, but he doesn't want to fuck with them, so he's getting his rest. And then pretty much, I mean, I think the next guy, Austin Davis, for sure, is just a fodder for the brothers.
He's getting McCown.
Yeah, they probably double powerbomb him over the ropes, and he's done. Probably.
Yeah, he's
forever.
He's getting the McCown splash, that's for sure.
Yeah. So then we roll down to number 25. What do you think happens here on 25?
Big dog RG3.
RG3.
Rookie of the year, RG3.
Yeah, there were some signs of hope when we got him, actually.
Yeah, especially when Hugh Jackson said that the ground moved beneath his feet when he saw RG3 work out in shorts.
That is a weird fucking thing to say.
Yeah, I think that something was moving around in his pants when he was watching it.
Why mention the shorts?
Yeah, like ridiculous.
What are you doing? What are you doing with the shorts, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
he was pitching a tent. He was throwing up a bone cone at that practice, watching RG3 run around.
Really fucking gross stuff out of Hugh.
Yeah, he's the grossest.
So I think. So here's how I see this. You can tell me if you see any different. I see RG3 coming down. You know, again, we talk about some of these athletic quarterbacks. This was the athlete amongst athletes that we've ever had at quarterback.
This is Kofi Kingston for sure.
Exactly. And that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
perfect point I'm about to make. And what he does is he jumps up on the apron, and just like all those athletic dudes, he tries to flip over the rope, just jump over it, torn ACL,
Yeah.
both legs, torn ACL.
Perfect.
falls back off, eliminated, and they really just have to carry him back because we're probably out of stretchers by now.
Both legs torn.
Both torn.
Separated at the knee.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I mean, that was bound to happen.
Mhm.
His legs are made of straw.
Mhm.
So, number 26 rolling in. One of my least favorites.
I mean, you talk about, like, I'm not trying to call Cody Kessler a bitch, but
Corky Kessler.
Cody Kessler's a bitch, dude.
Yeah. What if Austin Davis and Corky Kessler got in a fight in a back alley?
Take it. He wouldn't take it. He would run from it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Austin
maybe
Davis
Austin.
would fight
I
him.
was maybe too hard on Austin Davis. I forgot about Corky Kessler.
I mean, and I swear the only reason I was being hard on you being hard on and no being hard on puns, but is because I saw fucking 2 picks down the biggest bitch on the list.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, come on, how you calling Austin Davis a bitch when right in his little shadow is the douchiest little bitch we ever had?
Yeah, hard on. I wasn't really looking in the future, but Corky is just the worst.
Yep, terrible.
Biggest bitch for sure on this list.
You know what? And here's what I think happens with the McCown brothers in there. The force that they are, they're just waiting for him, just standing probably like on the rope, like looking down the entrance. Cody just turns around and walks away. He's not even getting in this fight. He sees Brady Quinn in there. He sees the brothers McCown in there. Come on,
and they're like, come on,
yeah.
Corky, let's go.
Yeah. And Brady's like, I'm not fucking with those dudes. And yeah, like this guy's not getting in the ring.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. He's a bitch.
Yeah. Cody.
So forfeit for Corks.
Yep. Now, physical force.
Oh yeah,
starting down the aisle.
Big beast, DeShone Kizer.
Dude, I think he is probably like a dude that could be. We were joking around earlier about Brady Quinn. He could be one too. I think he could be in the WWE.
Like, oh yeah, he has
the type of build, and like he even like kind of looks it. I think he could be in the WWE for sure.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He would. He's gonna be a little force. He wasn't a force on the field, but he'd be a force in the Rumble for sure.
Yeah.
Probably the best quarterback ever, though, at throwing interceptions in the red zone. Number one.
Yeah, that's a really
NFL history.
That's a good point.
NFL history, I think.
I agree.
At least he's number one at something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows at this point? He might have been trying to, so more kudos to him if he was, you know?
Yeah, hopefully he was.
Yeah. So I think this probably makes a little 2-on-2 session here where we have Brady's waiting for a physical threat like himself to team up with to try and get these brothers out. And Kizer enters. He's young, impressionable. They both went to Notre Dame. So they link up and they go 2-on-2 with McCown's.
So Brady and Kizer, the
Irish connection, dude.
Versus oh wow, Notre Dame connection. That's incredible. And then they dump out, or they're going at it at least with the old McCown bros.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy McCowns.
I like that for a second.
Yeah, and I think Brady and Kizer come out on top on that. Don't you?
I do. I think that's probably how we finally see the brothers fall there.
I think
we probably
so.
get a big cheer from the crowd. Big cheer from the crowd there. So we got 4 now, and we've got some monsters. Well,
Couch and Holcomb.
I feel like Kelly is a survivor at this point. You want to know who Ric Flair is? Ric Flair is Kelly Holcomb. Ric Flair's the one with not really that physical. Like, he doesn't look like the dude. Yeah. He looks a little older. Even when he was like, he had such just a square old face, and he's like the survivor because all these other dudes are.
He's definitely
jacked.
a survivor. Yeah, it's definitely everybody. Like,
it's like a fucking fitness show in there now.
Holcomb's the odd man out for sure.
Yeah, this is like a fucking for sure.
Like, one of these things is not like the other one.
You know what I mean? And it's Kelly's old ass. Yeah. All right, number 28, Kevin Hogan.
Kevin Scrap Boy Hogan.
Yeah, fared pretty well actually for the Browns. I mean, I thought
super athletic, way more athletic than I would have ever. He
did more with all the shit than anybody else really did when he was in there.
Remember when he got his one start though, and people were literally clamoring oh, Kevin Hogan could be the future.
Yeah.
And then he 4 interceptions in Houston.
But the game before that, didn't he come in and didn't he have like 100 yards rushing?
Yeah, well, I think that was maybe 2 games before that, but he definitely came in the game before and like lit the team up in the fourth quarter, and that's why everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be the man. He's going to start next game."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of liked him, but he was really pretty bad.
Yeah.
He had like super arm.
So
yeah, Hoagie Hauser.
Hogan
He's probably not sticking around. You know, what would be interesting though, kind of teased a little earlier, is McCoy one pop gun arm versus another in Hogan.
Ooh.
He finally gets up and comes back in the ring, and it could be 2-on-2 at this point.
Yeah, but Kelly and Couch aren't teaming up together.
They're fighting each other.
Oh,
they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Holcomb and Hogan are fighting each other. I mean, no, I'm sorry. Hogan and McCoy are fighting each other, and then that leaves Brady and Kaiser now to have to turn on each other and see who the best Notre Dame quarterback really was.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. You don't think they'd take one of these little scraps out first, Hogan?
They might take both Hogan and McCoy out.
Yeah, I think they probably scrap those dudes.
Hogan tried to make it back. McCoy tried to make it back in.
This is actually how it happened. I got the play down here. So all 6 are in there, and the Notre Dame boys are looking at Hogan and who's Hogan hanging with?
Hogan and McCoy.
McCoy, yeah. Oh, dude, just
coming off his concussion.
The scrubbiest little non-athletes ever.
Little baby arms.
Hogan's an athlete. Hogan's an athlete.
Yeah, but they both have baby arms though.
Yeah, so the Notre Dame boys take them out immediately. Both of them sweep them out, double clothesline. And what happens to get the Irish to fight against each other is they turn to 2-on-2 battle Holcomb and Couch, and they're so disinterested. They're just still slugging it out with each other, absolutely not interested in fighting anyone else. And so
how tired are those two at this point?
Oh, they're just throwing like just the
They've been
worst
around since the beginning.
Yeah. And so then
they're like laying on the ground, like half on the ground, like getting up, like clothesline each other again on the ground. You know,
just
what I mean?
A lot of laying around.
Yeah, it's a lot of catching their breath at this point because those guys have been at it for a while.
But at that point, you have Kaiser and Quinn are like, what else are we going to do? So they start fighting it out until the next guy comes in.
So the next guy, big 29. 29 on the brochure, number 1 in our hearts, Tyrod Taylor.
Talk about promise, man. He kicked off this year of hope, and the year of hope started without the thought that Brady Quinn, I'm still stuck on that fucking man beast, that Baker Mayfield was even going to play this year. Like we were in on, we got like elite weapons on offense, seemingly a good defense coming back, and this veteran quarterback who was run out of town for taking a team to the playoffs that hadn't been there in 20 years. Like, okay, we're in, you know?
Yeah, dude, I was super high on Taylor, man.
And I feel bad for him now.
Me too, but he's taking it like a pro.
Yeah. There is word, though, that he is not against requesting a trade. They're saying that like he's doing all he can to lead now, but he said he's frustrated and does want to start again. Dude,
he's like not getting any younger. Like he doesn't have another opportunity, and if he doesn't get another shot right now, you know what I mean?
It's crazy. If he would have got hurt in the first quarter of the first game and Baker Mayfield took over and we didn't see the tape on Tyrod so far this year, he probably would have gotten traded to Jacksonville is my thought. If he didn't have this tape, if we were going on the expectation of what he should have been this year, I think he would have got traded to Jacksonville this year. But with all how bad he looked in some of those early games, I just think the market probably died on him.
Oh, for sure. That's the problem, is that specifically that last game was just
and the team brutal. Yeah, and the team that you expect would need the quarterback the worst is never going to trade for him, and that's fucking Buffalo, who's going to fucking start DA.
They traded away a AJ McCarron, which was a perfectly fine quarterback.
That's crazy. So what do you think about Tyrod's hopes and dreams here?
Tyrod comes in and he's gonna take some swings. He's gonna give it his best effort, but just a little short, not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just fall.
But he stays in. I think he stays in until the 30th person gets the music played.
All right, and what is the music? Do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I've only heard him sing a couple times, and it was like weird country, like stupid shit. Remember he did it on Hard Knocks?
I don't want that. I mean,
so it can't be that.
To be like fucking DX.
Like, I mean, obviously it could be DX music, or it could be the crashing glass.
Stone Cold.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be something that pops for sure. Mm-hmm. We got to get a little pop going on.
Yeah, I think we get that Stone Cold because that's kind of what he does in my mind is he breaks the glass ceiling that's been on Cleveland for the last 20 years, dude.
That's
He's
good.
breaking through that glass ceiling. And
Yeah, there we go. He's gonna come in and just immediately nut Taylor
yeah,
stunner
yeah,
nut stunner.
yep.
Probably gonna throw 3 or 4 stunners.
Yeah, no
Just start
allegiances.
clearing people.
Yeah, no allegiances just starts jacking everybody. So who's the first one to fall here? We've got
Tyrod.
Tyrod's out from
Yes.
Baker.
Stunner dumped over the top rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, by Baker.
I
Baker's gonna
think
clear some house.
so. Baker clears him. Does Baker also go through? So we've got Kelly, Tim, Baker. Who else is still in here?
Brady and
Brady
Kaiser.
and Kaiser. Oh
So
wow,
how many is that total?
that's
5?
5. And
Yeah,
I
so
think
the big 5 is left.
wow.
You know who I would go after if I was Baker Mayfield coming in?
Who?
Just headhunt immediately. Just say, "Hey, Kaiser, you were the old rookie. You're big. You're way bigger than me, way stronger than me,
Yeah,
way faster than me. Later, dude.
like the prison yard. You just go out there and take out the biggest dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good move. Kaiser out. Now does Quinn
Yeah.
retaliate or does he give it? He doesn't give a shit. Is he a little intimidated by this fucking force? Because Quinn's
Quinn
been in
and
there a
Baker are
second.
definitely going to go at it now. Quinn and Baker are going to go
Yeah.
at it, and then obviously Couch and Holcomb still going at it. That's been going on for however long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these two just hate
How
each
long
other.
these things go on for?
Probably an hour. I mean, someone
So
like
they've been just battling for an hour. Couch has been in since the first person.
yeah, he might set the record for longest time in it. I think
Here's
Rey Mysterio has
here's
that
how
record.
here's how I see these four people going at it.
Give it to me. I'm willing to take whatever you got.
Brady and Baker scrapping it out. You know, just Baker Mayfield style.
Mm.
Brady Quinn just getting a little flustered because Baker's just Mighty Mousing him.
Keeps coming back. Yeah.
Yep. And then Holcomb and Couch still going at it, tired as all hell. And then fucking lightning strikes, shit's going down. Baker dumps Brady over the top. Couch dumps Holcomb over the other side. They turn, see who's left, and it's just first versus 30th. Baker Mayfield versus Tim Couch.
Both
brought us
number
into
1.
this world, taking us to the promised land.
Yeah, dude. I like it.
The only 2 number 1 picks in the Browns since they've been back.
Yeah.
The only quarterbacks, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, that's dumps at the same time, turn around, face the music. Now it's on. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Yeah. And I think like if we give Tim Couch some credit, if he comes out at 28, he's got a shot in this thing. But dude, Baker's got 110% energy and Tim Couch is running on fumes, dude. And he's trying to use his strength. He's trying to fucking do it. Baker's going to win this thing.
Couch puts up a little fight though.
For sure.
They're going at it just mano-a-mano.
He's a monster.
Way longer than they should be because Couch has been in for 45 minutes.
Baker's fresh as freedom. And when you think about what Tim Couch would be fighting for, it would be like the ultimate respect of just like everybody hated him at the end of it. Like people were like it was his fault. He got so screwed over. Like look at this list and think of a guy. I think it's Brian Hoyer, number 1. And there's not another guy I can think of who got fucked over by the Browns and the fan base more than Tim Couch. Yeah. And for him to go through every one of these quarterbacks since him, and then try to take out Baker Mayfield, the new hope, the Luke Skywalker of this story.
Oh.
Come on, dude. It's crazy. What a
New
fight.
hope.
And it would for sure set up feuds to come. Because you know these guys, like they're gonna go through some wars eventually. But I think on the Rumble night, it's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, dude. That's how I see it too. Baker Mayfield, long-term future, no doubt about it in my mind. Mm-hmm. And he's winning this Rumble. Comes out 30th. Obviously, big advantage. But guess what? Hey. Baker still cleared house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dude, you just gotta love Baker Mayfield. It's unbelievable. How can you not love Baker Mayfield?
You could be fucking Colin Cowherd, and you could easily not love Baker Mayfield. Somebody who just trashes him consistently over and over. You want to go into some of these tweets of Collins?
Oh yeah, dude. Let's take a look at some of these Colin Cow turd tweets.
All right. So let's go back a little bit here. Let's go back. This one's September 30th. And it's so funny because when you watch these Browns games and you watch every play and then you see someone comment on it, it's very easy to tell that they haven't been watching the game and they're just picking negatives. Because I remember watching this game and reading this afterwards and just being like, oh, you didn't watch the game. You just heard that Baker did something and then you tweeted this. Here's his tweet. Baker Mayfield with a pick six and a really bad fumbled snap just now, deep in his territory. And it's okay. Made enough good plays today to justify his start. Like the most backhanded little compliment of all time. What
game? So what game would that have been? That would have been the pick six was
the September 30th.
The Raiders.
Is it September 30th game?
It would have been the Raiders. Mm-hmm. That's when he turned the ball over 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the first part of that is asshole. That's an asshole thing to say. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he does like kind of round it out at least by saying like, hey, he deserved to start. But dude, I just think that
I don't think he even means that. I think he's trying to say that's another fuck you. Let's play this game. Let's just play this game with Colin. Let's play this game with Colin. Allowable or asshole? Okay? Allowable or asshole? Are we gonna allow it or is he an asshole?
So I just don't like in that specific tweet that he's gonna call out the pick six and the fumble in your own territory when, in my opinion, neither of those, and I know I'm defending Baker because, I mean, obviously I like Baker, but like if you watch that game, neither of those are his fault. The pick six literally hit Callaway in the hands, popped up straight in the air, and the cornerback got a chance to run under it, catch it, and house it. And then the fumble in his own territory was between the center, the snap between the center and Baker Mayfield, like the exchange, like that's something that could easily be on the center. It's not necessarily on Baker Mayfield. Obviously, there's a reason Baker thought the snap wasn't coming at that specific time. Like
right. And that's exactly what I mean with that pick. It just shows like if you're gonna call that and try and like hang your hat in a negative thing that the receiver slipped and the ball hit him in the hands.
Yeah.
Like why isn't the tweet about Antonio Callaway then? Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's not his point. Isn't trying to be whether Callaway's good or not. It's just, hey, let's talk shit about Baker because I've buried myself in a hole so far that I can't get out of. You know what I mean? Like,
here's another one.
So that's an asshole. That's an asshole tweet. There's nothing allowable, nothing truthful on that.
Okay, allowable or asshole here. Brown. This is October 11th, so not that long ago, 2 weeks ago. Browns lead NFL in rushing. Browns lead NFL in takeaways. Yeah, the QB with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions is clearly leading them. By the way, Sam Darnold with 14 completions over 20 yards is really impressive. Weak O-line gives him little time. Dude, can I say something for 1 second? The end of that sounds like a fucking Trump tweet. The end of that is how Trump tweets, dude, where it's just like he makes a statement and then makes like another rash one about like she made a mistake here. Very bad senator. Like he's just like talking in these absolute statements like a robot.
Wow, yeah, that one is pretty unbelievable. I mean, just trying to take all credit away from Baker is hilarious because, like, if you watch the Browns, you know that they're doing exactly what they're doing because of Baker Mayfield and not in spite of Baker Mayfield. It's just so insane.
I love his wording though, where he says clearly leading them. Like 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Like if you, 1, watch the game, 2, listen to any of the players talk, listen to any of the coaches talk, listen to him talk, he is fucking leading them. I don't care if they lose every game here. He's the biggest leader on the team and he's 22 years old. What are you talking about? 21 years old.
Touchdowns and interceptions
like
really aren't the determining factor for whether you're a leader or not. You know what I mean?
Just fucking be better at fucking just, say something efficient. Use that. Leading them. He's fucking been the leader since he got there and he wasn't even the starter. People have rallied around him. Like, yeah, I mean.
Asshole, dude.
Yeah, asshole. Here's another good one. This is the same day. Oh, I think it was from earlier in the week on his show. The roster is stacked. It's not the Baker Mayfield story. They are overcoming very average QB play.
So that must have been right after they beat the Ravens, and that's all he had to say for it. I'm sure.
Yeah. And it's funny because Joe Flacco plays on the other side of the ball. Like, do you think Joe Flacco's the worst quarterback in the NFL all of a sudden? Because he has them as like his top 3 team in the NFL.
Yeah, they're not really that good because of Flacco, I don't think though. But I don't know. This like actually the one has like probably the most truth to it, just because
the most
the most truth.
Okay.
I think I will allow this one the most because it's like truly Baker Mayfield statistically has been average, but like still like you're not considering like the energy and the leadership and just like the gutty play after like plays that he's making and stuff. But like if you're just like an average onlooker, you are saying, all right, yeah, I mean he's just been average, but yet somehow the Browns have won. Oh yeah, their defense is pretty good. Oh yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like throws a couple compliments out, but like to say that, I mean he's doing it to basically say in spite of Baker, but he doesn't quite say that, and I guess I can allow this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as egregious as some of the other ones. I mean, I just love how he cannot. I mean, and hopefully for us and the Browns, they win some games and make him really eat his fucking foot. But I just can't get around him just completely shitting on the Browns when you look at like the only game that was not in doubt with minutes left was the fucking game that they got blown out. Fine, I'll give you a blowout at home. Even more unacceptable that it was at home. But the fact that all of their other games have been losses, late field goal kicking. I mean, like again, we've talked. If we had a kicker, who knows where the fuck we would be? We could be 5-2 with a kicker right now. So, you know, I don't know. Little things like kicking are going to be really where if we do the little things right, then he won't have anything to do except just say, all right, the Browns are legit. They're a solid football team. It's just fucking annoying.
Football is a sport that it just takes so many moving pieces to be successful. Like it's never just on one person, but obviously everybody just tries to put everything on the quarterback or not. You know, it's either yes, the quarterback won the game or no, the quarterback didn't. But like, I mean, Baker's done everything. He's put them in position to win games so much this year. It's so crazy to me. It's always in fourth quarters, overtimes, 2 minutes left. They got to go the whole field, get a field goal to either, you know, tie it or win it. And he consistently drives them down the field, puts them in position to kick the field goal. Whether they make the field goal or not, that's, you know, something that is decided by not Baker Mayfield. You know,
we're gonna shore that up now, though. The next thing I want to talk about is specifically our new farm team for kickers. The fact that, you know, this Jimmy Haslam and D Haslam are trying to keep the crew in Columbus. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I think, like, especially from like a Brown standpoint, just because, I mean, you got how many people on a soccer team? That's just straight kicker practice, dude.
Yeah, every day. We could run a different kicker out from that Columbus crew team every week of the season, and if one makes them all, we just keep them until the next week.
Yeah,
you know.
What's another idea is just to, I mean, you can keep like a couple soccer players on the team from a kicking standpoint, but like, how about we just throw some like big studly athletes, like football players on the team, let them just dick around in the MLS and basically act as a farm system and extra 20 roster spots for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, wow. How does that?
You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Like, why? What are they going to do? Just like get shit on in the games?
Yeah, dude, they'll just get smoked in MLS, but like, who cares?
Dude, they're not about to buy this team to like get shit on in the MLS all the time.
To get an extra 20 roster spots? Yeah, dude, it's worth it.
Dude, could you imagine if the Columbus Crew are like fairly successful? I mean, as far as MLS teams go, and they're one of the original ones, right?
Who cares? Correct?
No, but they are one of the original ones.
Original it would be, what? Soccer teams?
Yeah, one of the original MLS ones.
No one cares about the MLS.
Oh my God. My point is, it would be the most Browns thing if this uber successful team in Columbus was winning like championship. The Browns buy them, put a bunch of football players on the team, and now they're the worst team, just like the Browns.
Yeah, but then the Browns are going to get better because now we got 73 roster spots.
Dude, they're not going to send a bunch of Browns down to Columbus to fucking lose soccer games. And
I know they're not going to, but what I'm saying is that they should.
All right.
Let's think outside the box here, Jimmy Haslam. You know what I mean? Like let's get some outside thinking.
Well, it's already a kicker farm system. We just want to expand on that idea a little bit.
Yeah, no, you can keep like 5 kickers and then keep 15 players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you can rotate the kickers. If they come in, they suck, cut, bring in a new soccer player.
Yeah.
Let them play forward. Let them have the ball, and then they can compete in soccer because soccer is easy and stupid.
Wow. Crushing the soccer fan base there.
Yeah, I don't really think the soccer fan base is going to be tuning into us.
Wow. Yeah, probably not much. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't like that they have the Steelers colors, though. That's like really
that's stupid.
Annoying. Yeah, and it's not like the Steelers are just like those are Pittsburgh colors, and that's really annoying to me that that's their colors now forever for everything.
I kind of wish that Cleveland had all the sports teams had the same colors. That's like kind of.
I mean, it's the only cool thing that Pittsburgh has.
And I wish that it was all orange and brown.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. Like
orange and brown Indians, orange and brown Cavs. Just get it all orange and brown up in this.
Yeah, I'm in. So
all right. Well, while on Columbus as a topic, let's talk a little bit about your favorite team, Ohio State.
Not my favorite team.
Oh, who's your favorite team?
Let
everybody know who your favorite team is.
Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan Wolverines.
You love Michigan Wolverines. Let me get your thoughts on Ohio State versus Michigan this coming matchup.
I'm way more optimistic now than I was a couple weeks ago.
When did this optimism start creeping in?
Probably it was creeping like butt sweat a little bit during the first couple games after Notre Dame because they were playing well. But that Wisconsin game, I mean, they absolutely trashed Wisconsin. And it's not like a super confidence in the team. It's like I was telling my buddy today, when you have a defense that good, just explain a scenario of how you lose, a football game to Ohio State. Like if they, and one of the things I think is Haskins cannot run the ball like their past quarterbacks.
Yeah, he doesn't, but he has such a good arm though.
That's fine. You know who has the best secondary and the number one defense in the country? And the number one corner in the country.
What offenses has Michigan played that you're like, oh yeah, this is a good test?
I mean, not many, to be honest with you. Notre Dame was a good test.
And then how many points did Notre Dame score?
I mean, I know they went up 14-0 quick. I don't remember what it was. I was so devastated that game.
Yeah, I just like as good as Michigan's defense is, I think that their offense is very bad. And I just don't know that they're going to be able to slow down Ohio State's high passing attack.
I don't know.
Haskins looks like a monster, dude.
Yeah, he does. But
yes, all the other quarterbacks have been able to run, and that's I guess what has killed Michigan in the past. But running with the quarterback is actually not how the game is designed. Passing with a good pocket passer quarterback is way harder to stop than running with a running quarterback.
But Ohio State has never beat Michigan with one of those. So that's why I don't really give a shit if he sits in the pocket, especially when we have this defense. I mean,
but they also haven't had one in a really long time. When was the last time? Honestly, I don't know. When was the last time Ohio State had a quarterback that was as good as Haskins?
That was as good as him?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's a bunch of people that think all those Ohio State quarterbacks when JT Barrett and Big Tubby were there and all those
definitely
guys.
Not JT Barrett. Maybe Troy Smith that year. He was
Troy Smith.
He was as good, but not JT Barrett for sure.
I just think that Michigan has the number one by a long shot now that they gave up 93 yards of offense today. They have the number one defense. They have the number one cover corner in the country. And if this kid cannot run the ball and that, they're going to have to run it with their running backs, which is not easy to do either. And I think the way to beat Michigan and what they'll have to do is run constantly up the middle And if Winovich is there, run at Winovich, because their biggest thing on defense and how they give up big plays is they just come past the quarterback because they're bearing down so hard in the pass rush. So if they just keep those dudes from running 5 yards in the backfield with a run, give Haskins a lot of time and let the athletes run out in the secondary, then they have a chance. But they're not going to, it's not like Ohio State.
So you just think Ohio State maybe has a chance to win?
No. Here's what I'm going to say. Is that I know they have a chance to win. They have some chance to win.
Like a lot of a chance.
They have some of a chance.
Like a big chance.
They have a chunk of a chance.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, they're not going to have 3 seconds and then the receiver's wide open. Like, they are going to have to be working, and he's going to have to get a long time for those guys to run and outrun the corners and the safeties. Like, they're that good. Like, I seriously think that David Long, I think, it is as good as anybody's been at corner since Charles Woodson at Michigan. Like, he's that good.
God, you're so obsessed with Michigan, dude.
I mean, he's a beast, and I think the defense is a beast.
Hey, we'll take it back to the beginning of the show. Would you give up Michigan football for the Browns to win a Super Bowl?
No, that would be irrational. Give up the rest of my life of a team playing? Yeah. What do you mean, give it up? Like, have to kill everybody on the team?
You don't get to watch it. You don't get to watch them anymore.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Would you give Michigan up for 5 years?
Yeah, I would.
How many years? How many years do you think would be the max that you would give Michigan up for? 5. So not even 6. Not even a six year for the Browns to win a Super Bowl.
Dude, it's like we've talked about before when we've had
Browns can win a Super Bowl and you could still be in your mid-30s and be able to watch Michigan again.
What am I supposed to do in my mid-30s? Fucking, like, rock climb? What do you want from me?
What I'm saying is there's so much time left in your life to root for Michigan, and it guarantees you get a Browns Super Bowl.
But in that same vein, there's so much time left the Browns might win one of their own accord without my fucking help.
Dude, how long have they gone without winning one?
Yeah, but we've never had Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I know. But we had Chucky Fry. We had Ken Dorsey.
He's a bum.
We had Trent Dilfer.
He's a bum. Dude, you know who I wish we could start at quarterback? Friend of the show, Joel Klatt.
Yeah, I mean, Joel Klatt would be an upgrade.
Fox Sports is Joel Klatt.
Over everybody except for Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Joel Klatt actually is a friend of the program. Yeah. He's more of a best friend of the program than he is just a friend. But unfortunately, we were trying to get him on for tonight's episode, but he was calling that Michigan State game. He did a really good job, and
a great job.
Just couldn't get him on after the game. So, but future episodes you'll be seeing at Joel Klatt.
Yeah, at Joel Klatt on Twitter. Not sure if he does Instagram, but great content from Joel Klatt all the time.
Fellow Baker backer.
Yeah, you know? Baker backer. He's a good dude. So last thing I want to talk to you about here, we've been kicking around like colleges, some of our favorite draft picks, players, and what I think we're going to do once a week, break down a school and say our favorite players, maybe our least favorite players, maybe some highlight memories of that. So what are we going to do this week?
Oh, my favorite team growing up, the U.
Oh, all right. Put it up. So the U, that was a lot of people's favorite team when we were growing up. That was a time.
They were just so swaggy. Like even my 8-year-old self just like knew that they were like just dripping in swag, and like I just had to be a part of it.
You had to drink that up. Yeah,
I gotta drink that swag up.
So, because I mean, I think that like some of my favorite, and it's for sure my least favorite players come from when I was much older, at least high school. So who, when you were a young kid, were you drinking the swag sweat from?
Yeah, so my favorite player when I was like young and watching the U was Santana Moss.
Oh yeah, dude, that's not that young.
I was like 10 when he started at Miami.
You have no idea how old you are. What? 10?
I was like 10. Yeah.
Dude,
he was there.
He
was there from 90. He was there from 97 to 2000.
Wow, that's crazy. I thought we were like 16 or 17 when he played there.
No, dude.
Probably St. Morris.
Yeah, so Santana Moss was just such a stud. I was so obsessed with him because he was so good at punt returns and would just be like just swagging out, running up the sideline, just like balls jiggling. Like, oh, dude, Santana Moss was just like the man of the of the early 2000s for me.
Yeah, I feel like they had so many just they were essentially the Alabama of that time, where they were just every player on their team you knew was going to be good and was going to be an NFL player. Like, do you remember how scary Jonathan Vilma was when he was in college?
Oh yeah, dude, such a beast.
Like, scarier than any horror movie or haunted house you've ever been to, dude. That was the scariest player I've ever seen.
Well, speaking of scary and players, another one of my favorites was Sean Taylor, dude.
Oh yeah,
so scary.
Yeah,
that dude would just light people up.
Yeah, if he was playing in the NFL today, he'd never be on the field. He would be suspended every other game.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's probably rolling around in his grave right now watching what's going on in the NFL. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like
Sean Taylor was, man, that's just straight up gangster.
Do you remember McGahee blowing out his knee?
Oh, yeah. I remember where I was. I was at Dustin Stark's house.
That's a cool house. Yeah, dude, I remember that so vividly, and just, oh my gosh. And that was the first time, I think, because you're always young. Like, I never really felt bad for a player when I saw him get hurt when I was younger. I just, like, didn't get it, you know? But then that was, like, an age where I was like, oh, my God, like, that is so fucked. Like, that guy's career could be over. Yeah. Like, he's, like, a young kid. Like, he's only a little older than us.
What's crazy is that he actually had a pretty good NFL career, too.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Yeah, dude, Willis McGahee was the man. Absolutely hated their quarterback at the time, who we previously talked about.
Ken Dorsey?
Oh yeah, dude. He was probably my least favorite player at Miami because he's the least Miami person that you could possibly ever do. Kenneth Simon Dorsey.
His middle name is Simon?
Yeah, dude. That's who he is.
God.
Kenneth Simon.
Fucking Kenneth Simon Birch Dorsey. Dude.
Yeah, dude, that's why he's the worst. He's like the anti-swag Miami Hurricane, and like it's just such a shame that he had to be quarterbacking them at that time. They could have just like had like Michael Vick, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Remember Kellen Winslow? Remember the Kellen Winslow days? Oh, yeah. Do you remember when my ringtone used to be his locker room rant? Do you remember that?
Being a soldier?
Yeah, that was like the ringtone when people would call and they'd just do that rant. I don't give a hell.
You're obsessed with Kellen Winslow.
Yeah, I mean, he was such a beast. He was like, what is he like now? What is the equivalent to him?
In college or the pros?
Both.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because I was going to say, it's not Gronk. He's more athletic.
Travis Kelce is he's exactly like him, and he's got that attitude like him, too.
Yeah.
Except Travis Kelce's actually good, so.
And Kelce's a little more PC and PG.
Yeah, Kelce's actually like a good football player too.
Yeah, you just hate Kellen Winslow.
Kellen Winslow is a rapist.
Put it there. Yeah, that is one thing he is.
So,
is he a better soldier or football player? Because remember that was the rant. Is I'm a soldier.
Yeah, I know. I don't think he actually is a soldier though. I think he's more of just like a raper.
A rape soldier.
Yeah.
I don't remember any guys. That's the usually hard one because I don't really remember any that I didn't like.
Yeah, it's hard because that's why
at the time I liked Dorsey at the time.
It's so easy to like them because they're so like gangster. But Dorsey is just like that's why you just have to like pick like the stupid like dumb dull quarterback and just be like, okay, I hate that person because that's not who belongs there. That's like a person swap. Like somehow he got swapped out with Michael Vick and he should have been on Virginia Tech. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that is really weird that didn't happen. You would think Mike Vick would have went to Miami for sure. God, could you imagine that?
Yeah, I remember, or at least Marcus Vick, you know?
Didn't Marcus Vick kill somebody? Dude, we're talking about a lot of terrible people right now.
Yeah, Marcus Vick,
of course, it's in the U conversation gets us into rapists and murderers.
Rapists, murderers, dog fighters. Like,
didn't even bring up Michael Irvin. Because didn't Michael Vick play in the first BCS national championship game against Florida State? Wasn't it Virginia Tech, Florida State? And Peter Warwick was on Florida State's team.
I don't think Michael Vick played in that game.
No? Was it Virginia Tech?
I remember when
Florida
Peter
State.
Warwick was there, and I think it was Chris Winkie throwing him the ball.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They won the national championship, but they weren't playing them. They were like playing like a Jason White-led Oklahoma team or something.
Or Josh Heupel.
Yeah, or like one of those same quarterbacks
One
that
of those
played
little
Oklahoma
whitewash
for
boys.
10 years.
Terrible. Well, dude, that about wraps it up. Oh, sounds like everything's ready. Casserole's done.
Yeah, that's a ding.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure follow us on Twitter, Bryce.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Twitter at the A-hole at A-hole pod, at Jesse the Potty, and at Potty Piper, and at Joel Klatt.
Yeah, follow Joel Klatt for sure.
Make sure you follow Joel Klatt. He's very important to this program and will be very important in future programs. But also subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe. A-hole pod channel. Check us out. Thanks.
Hope you enjoyed.